Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. P is for Plog. This is my weekly and a little bit more frequent than that at the moment podcast that's going to be talking about my life as a professional plogger. A plogger is someone who picks up trash while running, and I've been doing it in my free time for nearly 14 years, but since the last 6 months I've turned professional. This is my job. I'm trying to make it work. I don't know if it's going to work, but this podcast is just following me along on that journey. We're in a bit of a sub-season at the moment. So this is season 2, episode 7, but it's really sub-season 2 where I'm talking about P is for planning. We're going to keep it quite raw and just go straight into it. I just want to talk and share the whole effort that's involved into setting up this stupid challenge that I've got in May, which is going to be running a marathon every day for the whole month. So I'm going to be covering 1,300 kilometers, probably more likely 1,500 kilometers around the country in the Netherlands. I'll be going through all the major cities and doing a cleanup in each city. And of course, I'm going to be picking up trash the entire time in a banana suit. It's a crazy adventure. And there's a lot of planning involved in it. And I'm starting to get into a bit of a panic station now. I think we're around 40 days to go. And it's getting ridiculously close, and I've got so much to do. But I can now concentrate on it, because one thing that's happened now is I've got through the busy weekend. So this was always going to be a busy weekend that I've just had. So it's just, so what we've got here in the Netherlands is the Landelijk Opschoondag, so the National Cleanup Day. That was on Saturday. And so I had a lot of commitments with my sponsors, specifically sort of Statiegeld Nederland, or the deposit system here, and their partner association, Supporters van Schoon. So I actually did 2 days with them. So on Friday, I did this fantastic kickoff with Supporters van Schoon and another brilliant foundation here in Haarlem called the Waye, which looks at getting litter-free sports clubs and such as like hockey clubs and football clubs to make sure that they're litter free. So we went to a hockey club in Den Haag and did a sort of a clean up there with the kids. Fantastic. It was just so much fun. So just check out my Instagram. There's a link below and you'll see some of the reels that have been happening. I seem to be picking up a lot of collaborations at the moment in my feed, so it's getting a bit chaotic, but I'm loving it. It's just sort of sharing a different viewpoint of those days. So that was Friday. Just with those kids, it was remarkably clean, but we still managed to pick up 14 kilos in no time with just a handful of kids. So that was Friday. That was kickoff, the PR kickoff for the National Cleanup Day. And then the National Cleanup Day itself on the Saturday, I went with Statiegeld Nederland and I joined some organizations in Amsterdam, as well as a couple of other cleanup groups as well. But I hung around mainly with the Statiegeld Nederland. Great big, they've got this great big can on a sort of like a golf buggy type thing. And then what they do is they can sort of just play music from it. It's like a DJ booth. It's just awesome. And so I just sort of hung out with them. We went down Kalverstraat playing this crazy loud music. I'm there in a banana suit trying to dance, which is probably a hilarious sight to see. An old banana, like a 58-year-old guy trying to drop a beat in a banana suit is, I don't care. I just don't care. Maybe it's embarrassing. I don't care. That's the people often like say I'm so extrovert, and yeah, there is definitely extrovertism in there, but there's also introvertism. But as soon as I put a banana suit on, it's like it acts like a mask, and it means that when I've got that banana suit on, the most important thing is to be seen, to be picking up trash, to be seen picking up trash, and to try and inspire people. And I don't really care what I look like. If I look like an idiot, so if it puts a smile on someone's face because they're laughing with me or they're laughing at me, so what? You're laughing, and that's going to stick in your mind. And if it sticks in your mind, it's got a good chance of it maybe inspiring you later on down the road. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it's another drop in the bucket until that bucket is full, and then you start picking up trash yourself. So that's my view on it. So I don't care if I look like an idiot going down that street. I had a hoot, and it was just a real blast. And we got loads of trash cleaned up. So, but now that weekend's out of the way, and then also today I did a fantastic run in the dunes with vegan runners. I keep on promising the vegan runners I'll come and join them. This is just a small group of vegan runners. Funny that, huh? So they're runners and they're vegan, and they call themselves vegan runners. So I just, I went, I keep on promising that I'll meet up and go running with them, and I did that, and it was just such a hoot. I loved it. It was we went through the dunes here, and the thing is, when I go running in the dunes, I'm just running on the bike paths and sort of the footpaths that are just in effect bricks on that are laid down to make a nice path. So it's not really trail running at all in the slightest. I just got regular running shoes on. And I love it. It's just so beautiful there. But it gets even more beautiful if you're willing to go off road and do a little bit of sort of trail running. And so they took me on a trail run. I think there was a group of 7 of us, and it was just so fantastic. To be honest, it was fantastic because I wasn't a plogger. I wasn't way of life. I was just a runner. I didn't introduce myself as way of life. I just said I introduced myself as a vegan. That was the whole point. And some people did recognize me. I did pick up some trash on the route, but there was so little trash. It's not like I'm stopping every 2 seconds. It's like the odd occasional piece of trash, and then that's just what other people do. It's nothing unique to what I'm doing. I wouldn't. It is plogging, but it's not actively going to a place and looking for a lot of trash to just pick it up. So that was just so wonderful. Just in effect having a little bit of freedom to just forget about things. And I've always said that running, the beauty of running is it lets you think about problems or forget about problems. And to me, today was just forgetting about anything. It was just clearing my head and just being in the moment. I loved it. It was just so sort of wonderful to to be a part of that. But now that's all gone, it means that I can now focus 100%. Kind of. I've got a few more events, but all the big stuff's gone and is now drive, just over a month, get this done. And I've got a lot to do. There is a couple of events I've got planned that I'll be talking about on this podcast. The big one, obviously, is Patagonia. The banana suit that I'm going to be using. So I'll be using 2 banana suits. One of them is made by Patagonia, and this week we arranged the date, so I'll put a link to the event below. So it's on the 2nd of April, and I'm really looking forward to that. We've got a limit of 50 people. I've said, I think we'll fill that up really quickly because there's also going to be free beer and there's quite a few different groups going. So I'm interested to see if we do fill that up. Oh gosh, I really hope that we do fill it up and say it's fully booked. I think that'd be just wonderful. Anyway, the link's below, and so I'll be doing that. Really, really excited about it. One of the things that I'm hoping to do on the 2nd is also bring along my buggy. I might not be running with it, but I finally arranged a buggy. It took a lot of effort, but it actually ended up being just one email to this company and one reach out from another person, another friend. So they reached out to the company. I don't know if it was just coincidence they reached out and the next day that they replied to my email or what, but whatever happened, they replied to my email with a really positive, it's fantastic. We really sort of want to work for you. And sometimes it just needs, when you send these emails out, it just needs a bit of time for it to sink in. They're probably having to ask lots of people, and that can take days before they can sort of do anything. So it could well be that they just took this amount of time, took a few weeks for them to be able to sort of get the right people, ask the right people, and come back with a yes. But I'm super grateful to announce that HAMAX, I hope I'm going to say that right, HAMAX, HAMAX is a Norwegian buggy company, and it's a fantastic one. It is a real state of the art baby jogger. It is perfect. And I got really excited when I looked at the model. They've given me their top model. They let me choose the color and everything. So I said it has to be red, right? Because red goes faster. So I've got this bright red baby jogger that I'm really excited to use. And I was telling them as well is I will be using it more and more. It's not just this one event I'll be using it for. I'll also be using it as a trailer to transport things around. So if I've got a cleanup event and I've got to take a whole load of equipment, then I can use it for that. I can sort of cycle there and then use it for that, or I can use it as a baby jogger and get it there. So it's going to be something that I use for years to come on all of my adventures, and as well as some cleanups as well. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's fantastic. So thank you to HAMAX who have got it. It should be arriving soon. I really hope I hope to have it there for the second. I probably won't use it on the second, but I want to have it in the store so that people can see exactly what I'll be doing. The other one as well I've been trying for the last few days is black roll. So they gifted me some recovery boots and the pillow, and I'm really loving them both. It's been a real joy to use those, and it's really making a big difference as well. I can feel it took a couple of days. They said they made a comment of it would take 3 days to get used to the pillow, but then you sort of won't want to go back. And I think that's right. It did take me a couple of nights to find sort of the right way to sort of use it. But now I'm really, yeah, I'm really happy using. I'm thrilled using them. I think I'm sleeping better from that pillow, which sounds really weird. You kind of go, it's just a pillow, but I need to sort of think on it more. But I'll probably do a post on it Monday, Tuesday. So watch out on Instagram. But I'm really excited to have Blackroll in there, and they're going to be sort of listed as a sponsor on the shirts and on the buggy as well. And I've got another sponsor. So this just came out of the blue. I can't reveal too much about it because it needs to be all arranged and we need to do it in a formal announcement. But I've got kind of a new sponsor. I won something, but it's kind of winning kind of a sponsor type thing. I don't want to go into it too much, but I'm really excited. And if this does come through and does happen, then wow, my Palmar is of sort of the portfolio of all the brands I've got on my shirt is going to look pretty impressive. I hope that doesn't scare off sponsors, but instead I hope it sort of actually gets some really nice sponsors in addition to those. So fingers crossed. So then the question is, what's the plan now for? So we're now recording this. I'm now recording this on Sunday late afternoon. So what's my plan for this week? Well, now I've got that busy weekend. I can really go and get those hotels because I haven't had a hotel, sort of a new hotel, come along in the last week. Really, I think I've got a good lead on one of them that I'm really excited about. I think it's actually perfect. The whole point of this is I can sort of use these. When I stay in a hotel, I really want to sort of shout out that hotel and sort of give it and say thank you for letting me do this. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I really want to sort of just talk about these places, and this place has got something unique. So I'm really excited, but I can't announce it yet. We've got a meeting on Thursday, so it'll probably be next week before I can announce it. But yeah, that's one that I've got going. But there are just too many other places, and I've hit 5, 6 hotels now in some places. I'm not getting a response back. A couple I did, and they sort of said, "Yeah, well, it's just busy season now, so we can't do anything." And I love that. If I can't, if it's just too busy, that's just so great that the hotel can't put me up because they don't want to lose out on money. I think that's brilliant. Good. I totally accept that. Understand that. That makes perfect sense to me. So the hotels I would need to get even more focus on, and I'm going to start reaching out to B&Bs. I didn't really want to do B&Bs. I wanted to sort of really keep it as a sort of a hotel because I know I can shut that door. It's sort of a great, it's more than one room, and it really means I can just sort of shut that door. But I'm gonna be starting to reach out to B&Bs and small little places and see if they can if they are okay with me staying there for a day. So I'm going to start doing that tomorrow or next week and try and get those. I've also got to reach out to the councils. That really has to be done. So hold me accountable to this. I need to have contacted every council by Wednesday, really, just with a message saying, is there anyone I can speak to about what I'm doing? Because I really need to get those councils on board. Because when I do the cleanup in every city, what I want to do is I want to have a representative from the council coming along. What I'd love to have, the ideal situation I have in one of these city cleanups is I've got a selection of people. I've got some kids and some families there. It doesn't have to be loads of people. If it's like sort of 5, 6, 7 people, that's just perfect. I'm super happy with that. If it's like 20, I'm thrilled. But I'm happy with just a small number. But there are some groups that I would love there. I would love to have some public there, some people that are just there to come along to support me, of course. I would love to have a member from the council there just to support me and say, look, this is cool. But I want the council to be there because of the next group of people I want to be there. What I would love to have is in every one of these cleanups is someone from a local cleanup group or some cleanup groups. And there are loads. Every city has got people doing cleanups. And I want to have them coming to a cleanup. So have a look at all of the different cities that you can see on the map. And if it's like a city, then I'm doing a cleanup in it. And then just if you know someone that does a cleanup group out there, reach out to them and say, look, come go to Paul's cleanup, go to his cleanup because he really wants to put you at the forefront. Because I'm just there for a half an hour. I want to shine a light on the people there all year round that are picking up trash. Those are the heroes. I'm just a guy that's running through between city and city on a stupid journey. But it's those local communities, and that's what I want the council to see. They probably know them already, but I really want to bring into view the council with those cleanup groups that are doing such a great work for the council. And obviously I want press to be there as well. So I've got to reach out to all of these different groups as well and still find 20 hotels. So when you look at my websites or the To Isle of Stayed and Plog website, all the cities that are white, I don't yet have accommodation in those. So again, if you know a hotel or need a B&B, I really want to stay in something that's rather than stay with someone because I want to be able to shut the door on it and then just get my recovery done because that's super important. But I do want to sort of celebrate those companies as well. And I need to start thinking about nutrition as well, but I'll probably leave that for the next episode. So I think that's just all I wanted to talk about. It's just a sort of a catch up. Like I said last week, there's no intro, no outro. It's just me talking, just giving some feedback on how it's going and the difficulties I've got. But I'm so delighted on this one to announce HAMAX as being my, providing me with that baby jogger because that's a real relief from my mind. It's like, how can I run around? Or if I have to suddenly buy this, and it's like these hotels. That's like 2,000 euro. If there's 20 hotels I can't go into, let's say they're 100 euros each. That's 2,000 euros of just me spending on hotels, which means I would have to buy a tent and then just pitch it up somewhere. And of course, that is just not going to be a good scenario to be in, to be pitching up in a tent. And that's going to make it ridiculously tough. So I really don't want to do that. But if I have to, then I will. Anyway, it's coming together. I think it's coming together. I'm still confident it's all going to come together. I'm still confident I get all those hotels. But man, I've got a lot of effort to still get them done. Anyway, with that, thanks for listening. This has been, as I said, just a very raw catch up. I'll speak to you in a few days' time and I'll give you another update. So probably around Wednesday time, I'll do another update. Bye.